India's phone exports for FY 1920 stood at 3.6 crore units, or more than double the previous year's 1.7 crore units, according to data released by Ministry of Commerce. India have attracted interest from companies such global giant Samsung and Chinese OEMs in the mobile phone segment, coupled with the right set of incentives for them. The mass domestic market, which was underpenetrated for long, has provided an opportunity to these players to address local demand as well as set a pace here. In terms of value, the on-year growth in exports last fiscal year ended March 31 was 91%, with India exporting devices worth 21,000 crore rupees. Exports have surged from 20 lakh units in FY 16-17. Correspondingly, imports in the category last free plunged 81% to 20 lakh from 2.6 crore in the previous fiscal. Phone imports have fallen from 7.5 crore units in FY 16-17. Imports in the category last free plunged 81% to 20 lakh from 2.6 crore in the previous fiscal. Phone imports have fallen from 7.5 crore units in FY 16-17. And phone assembly parts as well as other components such as chargers. Almost 90% of this number accounts for finished devices, analysts said. India's local production has been increasing with stops for local manufacturing, encouraging the likes of Apple, Xiaomi, Oppo, Vivo, OnePlus, Realme and Samsung to either up or expand local manufacturing in India, and also export from the world's second largest smartphone market. The industry has largely benefited from the Make in India initiative by the government, the most effective being the Merchandise Export Incentive Scheme (MEIS). Under MEIS, India's local production has been increasing with stops for local manufacturing, encouraging the likes of Apple, Xiaomi, Oppo, Vivo, OnePlus. MEIS duty credits can be transferred to the company for working capital needs or used for payment of various duties such as basic customs duty. This incentive will be increased to between 4% and 6%, applicable from August 1 this year, under the new production-linked incentive, which has a budgetary outlay of 41,000 crore rupees. According to the government, India's contribution to the global smartphone market has risen from 9% in 2016 to 16% 2019 as major handset makers diversify to countries other than China. China has been losing luster as world's phone factory as the supply chain and production ecosystem has been steadily shifting abroad due to rising costs, trade tensions with the US, and a reprioritization of other consumer markets, research firm Counterpoint had said in a report. As per government data, India has around 270 factories making handsets and components. Chinese smartphone maker Xiaomi is one of the biggest examples of the Make in India success story in the country. Even though India is still catching up to China in terms of overall electronics manufacturing. Xiaomi India head Manu Kumar Jain, on June 11, 2020 said that up to 99% of the company's smartphones and most of the smart TVs are now made locally in the country. At a time when local products and goods are being promoted by many trade bodies as well as by the Indian government officially through the Vocal for Local campaign. The Chinese company is looking to solidify the local identity for the India business through further inroads in this area. Jain said that not just the products but even their components like printed circuit boards (PCB) are either locally sourced or made in India. From a financial standpoint, making phones and TVs in India gives Xiaomi greater flexibility in pricing and margins, and allows it to earn incentives from the Indian government. Xiaomi revealed that 99% of Mi smartphones are made in India. The company also claimed that most of Xiaomi's range of smart televisions are locally made. Jain added that 65% of the value of smartphones are locally sourced. Last year, Xiaomi had infused $507 million in the Indian entity. As of now, around 50,000 individuals are working with Xiaomi India. Samsung, with recent market share of 20%. Korea-based smartphone manufacturing company Samsung ranks at number 2 position in India. In 2018, Samsung inaugurated world's largest mobile factory in India. Samsung India also launched its Make for the World initiative with an aim to export mobile handsets produced in India to overseas markets. With this new expansion, Samsung will double its present limit for mobile phones in Noida from 68 million units every year to 120 million units per year, in a phase-wise extension that will be finished by 2020. As a genuine market pioneer, Samsung keeps on providing edge innovation and advancing experience of Indian and international consumers in the context of advanced mobile phone technology. All Samsung cell phones, including the lead Galaxy S9, S9 Plus and Galaxy Note 8, are made at the Noida plant. Vivo, with a market share of about 17% in Indian market. The China-based company is taking over the market very rapidly and giving a neck-to-neck fight to other mobile manufacturing companies. Company plans to invest 7,500 crores over the next few years to sharply expand its production capacities, initially for the India market and later for exports, making it among the largest investments into local manufacturing by any smartphone maker. Vivo is playing strong in the mid-range market with several models. Vivo has been capturing the Indian rural market with great marketing selling strategies. Reached its highest ever share in the India smartphone market, driven by good performance of its mid-segment series and increased focus towards the online segment with its recently launched devices. The new manufacturing plants for the company backed by China's BBK Electronics will come up in Greater Noida-based Chinese smartphone manufacturer holds 4th position in Q3 Indian market with a share of 16% and has shipped 10 million smartphones in 2019 alone, according to a new research. With over 800% annual growth, Realme has become the fastest growing smartphone brand in the past quarter. It has happened despite a steady decline in the global smartphone market for the past few quarters. Realme has so far launched a series of budget to mid-range phones that have often competed head-to-head with Xiaomi's Redmi phones. Realme is investing 300 crore rupees in setting up 8 surface mounting technology (SMT) lines to increase capacity, anticipating high demand for its smartphones. Company is aggressively expanding its offline presence from 7,000 stores to 20,000 stores covering 180 cities by the end of this year. Oppo, the company, is a leading manufacturer of smartphones, Blu-ray players and other electronic devices. Currently the company holds 5th position in mobile manufacturing and selling business with a market share of 8% in India. Recently, at the Qualcomm 5G Summit 2019 in Barcelona, the company has announced to launch a dual-mode 5G smartphone by the end of this year. The company also has plans to further scale the manufacturing capacity to produce 100 million smartphones annually at its Greater Noida facility and planning to export to South Asia, Middle East and Africa markets. Oppo aims to produce about 90 million phones annually in India by the end of 2020. Chinese company wants to use the booming smartphone market in India to its advantage. It is committed to the Make in India initiative and also wants to export smartphones to South Asia, Africa, and Middle East countries by the end of 2020 to become an export hub. Others capturing the 13% of Indian market share, premium brands like App OnePlus and Asus, and other small manufacturers like Laver Kintex Carbon have shown a tremendous growth in selling business in Q3 of 2019. OnePlus emerged as the best premium smartphone brand, which earns over a third of its revenue from India. Plans to invest 1,000 crore rupees in its R&D center in Hyderabad over the next 3 years. Apple has showed their growth with a huge profit and is set to commit fresh investments up to $1 billion through its partner in coming years. The move comes as the company plans to begin export of made in India iPhones across the world. Conclusion: The ongoing US-China trade war is what's driving the Indian manufacturing market with billions of dollars. Smartphone manufacturers are shifting their interest of expansion in favor of India because of the diversification in a growing consumer base. With a record-level rise in units, manufacturers are advancing their portfolio of smartphones with the latest in advanced technology. We can't expect 100% in-house manufacturing of a technology-driven industry to happen overnight. Made in India is a positive step by the center and state governments, and with time there is bound to be more progress. It will bring more industries since India is one of the largest mobile markets in the world. Thank you for watching. Please do like, subscribe and comment.